you have no limit. You can literally do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. You have to understand that we live in a society where people program their own self-limitations. Now, that's self-debilitating. But if you can shift your mind and understand that you can do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want, not in a negative way, that doesn't mean debilitate yourself even more. But you have to understand that you cap your own potential. So what you want to do in life, you can 100% do that. But a lot of people cap themselves from doing and experiencing what they want in life, and now they're capping you simultaneously because they cap their self. And you have to understand how the mind works. The mind will only give you what it has. So if you want to do something that not everyone's doing, then you're gonna have to become something or someone that no one is. Now, again, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, if you have a certain goal, all you need is to acquire the skills to accomplish that certain goal. So if you have if you have a destination in your mind that you are trying to get to and you're trying to acquire, then you need to understand that all you need is time and energy, and you can make that into a reality. You can turn that into an experience. You have to understand that everything man-made you see in front of you has came out of the mind. So before there was a building, before there was a car, someone had to think of that car. So to say that your imagination creates your reality is not something, it's not absurd. What is absurd is if someone's trying to create their reality while not creating their reality. But if you have a vision and you're building towards that vision, then that vision will become a reality. The same way the person who envisioned the car turned that into a reality. You have to understand that people will cap themselves, and because of that, they will cap you too. But if you can acquire the skill set to accomplish your goal, then your goal is already accomplished. You are just in the process of crystallizing that into matter. You have to understand that your mind is your mind is literally a machine. Like, if you read the book Psycho-Cybernetics, it talks about how your mind, you fill your servo mechanism with information, you take form into the formation to accomplish what the fuck you need to accomplish. You have to understand that your mind's infernometry is built off of certain beliefs that you have for yourself. And if your mind's infernometry is not aligned with the destination or goal that you deem yourself or wish to accomplish, you will not accomplish that goal because you don't have the blueprint, you don't have the skill set to acquire that goal. So you have to understand that if you have a specific experience that you're trying to experience within your life, then you need to literally take form into the being, into the mind, essentially, of the person who's already experienced that. And through that, unfoldment begins, and you unravel your own unconscious to that certain experience. You have to understand, God didn't put you on earth for you to squander and suffer due to your own limitations. You impose that on yourself, and you feed your limitations, in fact. But you should shift away from that, and you should allow your mind to do all the work for you. You need to pull out of your ego, and you need to be above. As above, so below. Most people are seeing from below, so they cannot see above. If you are operating from above, then you will naturally see below. You have to understand, people are wired and programmed for failure. We need failures to have winners, but there's a lot more failures than winners. You can do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. And when someone tries to tell you, no, do this, no, do that, they are capping your potential and what you could potentially experience within your life. You only live once. If you believe that you were born on earth to suffer due to your own limitations that you self-impose, then you're a fucking idiot. You have to understand that you weren't put on earth to suffer. You were put on earth to experience whatever the fuck you want. But before you can experience whatever the fuck you want, you have to become the individual who can build himself into the position to experiencing what he wants. So a lot of people believe in limiting factors that debilitate themselves from experiencing what they want, and then they walk around earth miserable as fuck. They fucking just walk around miserable and just fucking the lunacy. It's just mass lunacy. You have to understand that we are in a society of mass lunacy, self-deprivation, all that shit. And the reason is because people aren't experiencing what they want to experience, and they don't understand that they have free will to do whatever the fuck they want when they want. And if anything, the destination or goal or the experience you so desperately seek to attain is behind the skills you have not required and behind the work you have not put in, and it's hiding behind the fear that you constantly feed every time it's time to make the move, but you don't make the move because you are afraid of something that isn't going to even do shit. You have to understand that when we were younger and we were scared of the dark, if we walked into that dark room, nothing would fucking happen. Literally nothing would happen. The same way the same allegory for the dark room, people are living in that state of, if I go there, there's going to be monsters. There's going to be monsters if I go and do this certain action to correspond to a certain specific result. You have to understand, you can't be the kid who's scared in the room. You need to take action towards your fucking goals. You need to become the individual you always needed to proceed and succeed within your goal. And you need momentum to do that. You need to acquire a certain skill set, a particular set of standards that you do not deviate from, non-negotiable, to get what the fuck you need to do done. And a lot of people can't understand or fathom that because they're so undisciplined and self-debilitating primates. They are vessels. They're not even minds. They are just, you have to understand that people, you just gotta observe people for what they truly are, not what you want them to be. Because when you observe people for what they truly are, not what you want them to be, then you start to see the true reality of the people. Like, you have to understand, people walk around with a mask. It's a literal psychological concept called the mask, right? We quote that from Friedrich Nietzsche, right? The mask. People walk around with a fucking mask. And if you say the truth, okay, your body is out of shape, your body's compositions look like shit, they start treating you like a piece of shit. It's the absolute truth. And they're getting mad at you because of the tension in their mind. But my point is, if you can reveal and enlighten the truth to specific individuals, their mask will slip and they will release that tension that they have on themselves, that hatred onto you. So everyone wants to smile and be fake, but in reality, it's just not how that's just not how it's gonna go, right? We see it specific individuals, like I've had experience working with certain jobs. I've been to school. I've seen people, and the longer you stay around the individual, the more their mask seems to slip. So have you ever had an experience where you are with a certain individual, a particular individual, and for the first hour everything's smooth, everything's cool, but as time flows, the relationship goes, and it goes in a negative direction. It goes in a negative trajectory passively. It's not even like it's not even direct. It's passive aggressiveness. It's hostility. It's being belligerent. That is the mask slipping. So the person that's smiling in your face, that's going to be the same person to say some dumb shit when you start doing what the fuck you want to do and have to take specific actions to correspond to that certain result, to experience a certain experience that you want to experience within your life. Because a lot of people are not experiencing what they want to experience in life because they are conforming to deformity. That's why you need information to inform to alter your mind's infonometry to allow you to operate from a specific set of standards that you will not deviate from and that are non-negotiable. Because you have to understand, if you take an individual that is not disciplined, that does whatever the fuck they want whenever the fuck they want, and then you put them in a certain position where they can't do that, they will conform back to their old self because that's what they're used to doing. That's what their ego is programmed. That's what their brain is wired neurologically. That's what they're alchemically based. Their body, alchemically, the chemicals in their body is literally telling them to do that, to do the specific action they've always been doing. You are a program. Your mind is the software. Your body is the hardware. Now, I quote that from my mentor, but you need to understand that You need to program your software into what you want to program it into, so you can experience what you want. And you do that by removing self-limitations, by not feeding negative thought patterns and thought loops, and by shifting your mind into a different state of consciousness. You have to literally alter your fucking consciousness. And there's so much negativity that you get so fucking resilient and strong mentally. You fortify your own mind with a castle of positivity because of how negative individuals are. It's like they let their mask slip, not in front of anyone, but specifically when it's only you and them. And then you have to tackle that on in your mind. But remember that you can do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. So if I was you, I would go do that shit instead of wait till I'm 45 and then do that shit, but not even do that shit, because you always say you're gonna do some shit and then never do the shit. So you might as well do the shit right now, get it done, and then reap the fruit, reap from the plant that you planted. Fucking have a tree that's fucking apple tree, you eat the apple or some shit, oranges, whatever the fuck. Just have a specific goal for you, and then form into the person who's already accomplished that goal, and watch how the goal lands on your lap. That's all you have to do. You have a goal, you gain information to inform into the formation to go out into the world and acquire a goal, and then you will experience what you want to experience in life, which no one is fucking doing, by the way. So go into the Patreon, join the community, like-minded individuals, get your mind right, get your soul right, get your body right. Like, your body is your spiritual report card. If you don't even have the body composition to go do some shit, then how are you ever going to do some shit? So get everything right. The link is in the description. We're launching my coaching program soon, so stay tuned. If you want to if you want one-on-one coaching, if you want to really get deep into the fucking abyss and you want to really unlock that dormant potential locked within you, then go ahead and stay tuned as we continue to evolve instead of revolve around bullshit. Peace.